G'day everyone. Welcome to a special live feed tonight. It's Saturday, the 20th of January, 2024. Special guest tonight, Danny Bowes. We know him as Freddy Boots. Freddy, we'll call you bloody Danny, and Freddy, we'll call you everything tonight. Welcome, mate. Thanks for joining us tonight.
That's all right.
Down there in Beaconsfield, not Beaconsfield, Tasmania, mate. Beaconsfield, Victoria. We'll give everyone a rough thing of where you are there. So we'll say a few shout outs. Thanks for joining us tonight, Danny. And we know we're going to most of the night will be talking about your recent 5-month trip where you went from Victoria over to South Australia and up into West Aussie, or across into West Aussie and then up Western Australia. So got some nice photos and all that. We'll talk about your holiday trip, but we'll get the serious stuff out of the road first tonight, mate. We'll talk about Motor Neurone Disease, which is what the beanies are about, what we're wearing, and you can explain all that soon, mate, and we'll talk about Motor Neurone Disease. Mike Blakely's on over in Colorado in the USA, saying it's a nice warm -7 over there, -7 Celsius in Colorado. Wow. What's that in Fahrenheit, Mike? I can never get my head around Fahrenheit. All I know is 100 Fahrenheit's 38 Celsius. That's all I can remember. So -7. Yeah, she's chilly up there. Slacken sent me some stuff the other day too, and he's got the snow and everything in his backyard at the moment. So, yeah, well, there you go. Phil McCallum's on. G'day, Phil. Steve W. Danny, up in the mother country, mate. Steve W. up there in Ascot in the UK. G'day, Steve. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Anthony Wicks is on. Wixie, was that you who showed Craig from out there touring how to do the Big Mac tacos? I think he mentioned your name. I tried them the other night and they were a big hit, mate. They were bloody beautiful. Mike's saying 19 Fahrenheit, -7 Celsius is 19 Fahrenheit, which is cold. Marky Hopkins is on. Who else we got on there? Ray Muller, Ivan and Lisa are on. Roland's there. Steve from Soar Adventures saying g'day to Danny from Steve and Annie and Winnie.
Yeah, Steve.
Speaking of Craig from out there touring, yeah, I tried those. I watched your clip the other day, mate, on those Big Mac tacos, soft tacos, and they were really, really nice. Monkey's on from Canberra, is he? Canberra. Not Canberra, Canberra. Monkey's on. G'day, Monkey. How are you, mate? Mara Rowlands is on. Are you related to Ivan and Lisa, Mara? I'm tipping you are. Rob the Wanderer's on.
Sure. There you go. Gumbara.
That's it. Yeah, and I've got mine on too. My new one that arrived the other day too. My Legends fishing shirt. We'll talk about that soon. And I got a half a dozen Legends coolers. This one here. Danny's going to grab his. I got the Terry G one. I got 6 of them. I got the magnets in them, which are really good. I got the Terry G one. What do you got there, Danny?
I've got the Gumbara one.
Oh, you just got the straight up Goombara one. Or Goombara, whatever you say.
Well, I was to sit at the back.
It moved. Mine's on. Ivan and Lisa said, yes, it's our daughter. Okay, I thought as much. Hein on, the maniac from bloody South Africa. G'day, Hein. Hope you and Nettie are well, mate. Tofty saying we've got Tofty with us. Steve from Soar Adventure said Tofty's with him. Tofty's out there sitting around in Kingaroy. He's been doing bloody undies runs down the main street of Kingaroy. Ed's camping and 4-wheel drive, who will see it. There's a lot, Danny, that we'll see at the Goombara camp up. Buggeroony, g'day. It's good to see you got a Mexican on there. Danny's going to show us how the Mexicans can stay up late. Danny, if you start nodding off, mate, I'll have to fall off. If I see you fall off your chair and go to sleep.
I'll have to start getting ready, actually.
Oh, Essendon, you're an Essendon supporter.
This is Velvet Demons, mate.
Oh, it's the Demons. He shows you how much I know about bloody.
Drink ready. Just for you, Buck.
You don't drink that filth, do you?
No, I've never drank it.
Salt water, it said V, vomit bombs.
Actually drink this one.
Yeah, that's all right. It's a bit watery, the old Super Crisp. I prefer the Great Northern normal ones. Brookie Wharf 69, watching from Ulladulla, which is a beautiful place. Moved here from Beaconsfield, Victoria 3 years ago. So there you go, Danny.
Really? Okay.
I moved from Beaconsfield, Victoria 3 years ago to Ulladulla, which is an absolute beautiful place. Sure, we went out to Ulladulla. John Dyson reckons VB's paint stripper. I agree, John. It is the most putrid beer I've ever tasted. Dead set. I'd rather do a Bear Grylls than drink that. Robin G's on. G'day, Robin and Terry. Good stuff. Nikki Slade's on. G'day, Nikki. Nikki, it is 7:36. Nikki at 8 o'clock. Nikki has to go to bed. I thought it was just us with the stupid daylight saving. Yeah. Blackers, g'day, mate. How are you? There's heaps of people. Marky Hopkins, Dean Roach, Saxon Overland. Good to have a chat to you last week. Saxon Overland was on. I really enjoyed that one with him and Rob the Wanderer. It was an absolute beauty. Rob the Wanderer had too many hard solos. Anyway, guys, we won't do too many shout-outs because every time I watch it back, I gibber for 50 minutes doing shout-outs and it just eats into the time and that. So it's bloody 7:37 down there in the southern states. So we'll get going. It's probably 2:30 in the morning in Colorado, probably 8:30 in the morning up there in the motherland. I don't know if Andy Riches is on yet. I know Steve W is. Debbie Marwort's on, saying g'day to everyone. Anyway, guys, thanks for 106 on, which is fantastic. For this, we've been going to do this one for a while, Danny. I think we're going to do it last year, but we ran into you're away and all that, mate. But anyway, we got here now, and it's because we've been both touched with someone who's died from this terrible disease, motor neurone disease. I said I lost a work colleague from it when I was in the police. Peter Frith, his name was. Bloody top bloke. And doesn't get much closer than this. Danny, you lost your wife, mate, from it.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. Mate, and we're wearing the motor neurone disease beanies and all that. We'll talk about that soon. Danny, just in a nutshell, mate, can you explain to everyone, in case they don't know what it is? I don't know a lot about it either. I know it's a bloody horrible, horrible thing. Can you tell us a little bit about motor neurone disease, mate?
Well, I don't know a heap, but what I do know, I can sort of let you know. But I've written down on paper so I don't forget this stuff.
Yeah.
Motor neurone disease, obviously, is what it says. It's the neurons, which are brain cells, they start dying off, and then there's affecting your movement, speech, swallowing, all that sort of thing. So they have three stages. It's been put down as, and starts off early stages like muscle weaknesses, which is drooping when you start drooping and that sort of stuff. Speech and swallowing issues, and mild mobility issues. I think that's when you start to say, "Oh, something's not right," and you start saying, "Oh, I just had a trip," it's just jumping up, fell over your feet, sort of thing. And this goes on until it gets a little bit worse. Well, with Pam, it was a little bit different because Pam, since she was a child, had spine nerves and neck problems as well.
Yeah.
She had sort of those symptoms with not being able to lift her hands over her shoulders, that forever. So she's always under a neurosurgeon. Always, getting checked and that sort of stuff. And what happened was she was trying to get a appointment with them. It's hard to get problems with them. And then COVID hit. It was virtually impossible. So in the finish, this get a little bit worse. So I went to the doctor because of her mouth and that, and I think it was a slight, what they call it, not a hemorrhage, but stroke. Well, stroke. But the doctor said, no, you're right. So we come back home. Well, a couple of weeks later, we went to emergency, and that's where she was diagnosed. But she could have had it for quite a while, because of her other problems. She had some of these symptoms were she had all her life. Yeah. So after that, the second stage is symptoms become worse, which it did, and then gets to the stage where you get advanced muscle weaknesses where you can't walk, you can't lift your arms, you can't talk, you can't swallow. Virtually after the first week Jen was diagnosed, she went to St. Vincent's, I think it was, and had a gastronomy, the tube feeder put in her body.
Yeah.
We fed through the tube when it was needed, and that probably happened probably 5 months later. She had probably got up to their eating, but 5 months later we had to start feeding through the tube.
Just in 5 months, mate.
In 5 months, yeah. But I think I've got a feeling she might have been, the symptoms might have been, we didn't know. So we just thought it was something to do with the spine. So then they get lots of mobility, breathing difficulties, and communication difficulties where at the stage where she had to write to let me know what was going on, that sort of stuff. To the stage where she couldn't write either. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's much more.
There's a lot of things similar. People are mentioning stroke on here, Danny. There are a lot of symptoms that mimic a stroke. I remember I wasn't here that day. I think I just got out of the police, and Peter, my workmate at the Innisfail police station, Pete was having a cup of coffee, and some of the people that were there that day said he went to take a sip of his coffee, and it all went down his mouth and down his shirt. Everyone started laughing, thinking Frithie, and he was a bit of a goose and did some silly things, and everyone thought Frithie just missed his mouth with his cup of coffee. And then he did it again. And that's when people went, oh, shit. And everyone thought he'd had a stroke because his mouth was a bit funny and that. And, within 12 months, he was in a wheelchair and was dead, mate. And I think it was only about 12 months from the time he missed his mouth with a coffee to death was around the 12-month mark, mate. It can work very quickly, but we're going to discover later that there's someone out there that we're going to show his picture soon that's been fighting it for about 7 years or so. We'll talk about that soon, mate. But hey, I just want to talking about your wife Pam, mate, and I reckon we might have to add her to the crowd upstairs tonight, mate. Officially raise a glass at the end of this, and induct Pam into the Mr. Buckaroony bloody camping hall of fame up in the sky up there with Holly Misty and Mr. P, Scotty Crow. Who else we got? Jimmy Abra, the hairy camper, and also our good mate Fisherman Fecky. And hopefully Pam's up there sitting around the big campfire in the sky, mate, with those guys up there. And we're going to bring up a picture of Pam. As I said, Pam was your wife. Tell us a little bit about Pam, mate. Where you met, how long you were married, all that type of stuff, Danny.
Okay. Well, we met, actually, it's unusual. There was a program on the radio on Sunday nights. I think it was, I can't remember, it was KZ or UZ, I can't remember now. And it was matchmakers. And she wrote into them saying she was looking for someone with these particular, qualities. Let's say qualities for me. And so I thought, I was in bed asleep. When I was sleeping awake, I was sleeping at 10 o'clock on a Sunday. I was listening to it. I thought, that sounds like me. So what you do is you write a letter into that particular radio station with who you are, what you are, what you think, and all these details about yourself. So I did that, sent it off. I don't think much of it. Anyway, and she said she got a dozen letters or something because they post them to Pam after they get them.
Yeah.
And she picked mine. She'd give me a ring, and that was it. Yeah.
Wow. What year are we talking here, mate? We're going back now for all you young people out there. You're thinking, writing letters? Who bloody writes letters? Well, that's the way you communicated back in the day. What year are we talking, Danny?
She'll kill me because we don't remember. They're 35 years ago, say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s or whatever, which is how it was done. There was no emails and text messages and bloody all those online dating and all that type of stuff. You used to have to do it the old-fashioned way. Wow.
And the first thing I noticed about it was the blue eyes. They just, and a smile. That was what I see. And
who we got there, mate? Is that your daughter, is it?
No. What's that one? No, that's someone else's Bubs. That's I think that's I think it's the lady who holds its grandchild. That's
okay.
That's Pam's sister, and holding her grandchild. I think it is.
Oh, right.
I think, or is it? I know. Or it could be my first grandchild, actually.
Yeah. So how many kids did you and Pam have, mate?
We had two.
Yeah.
A girl and a boy. A boy first, a girl. Now I've got three grandchildren from them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh dear, it's a terrible thing, mate. And as I said, she had spinal and neck problems and that.
Yeah, all life.
She was young, mate, and it kind of you think a lot of those symptoms got mixed in, which is why it took so long to maybe diagnose the motor neurone disease.
Yeah, I think we would have been diagnosed a year earlier. I'd say they reckon 1 to 2 years after diagnosis. It was September, and then the following September, so it was a year. So I reckon symptoms were probably years earlier, but it's
a horrible thing, mate. Frithy used to be a big strapping lad. He was in his early 50s when he passed away, and just a true gentleman. And from the time he dribbled the coffee down his mouth, I'm telling you, it wasn't much over 12 months, I don't think. And he got that bad where he just got so frustrated with life and that he was in a wheelchair. His wife walked out of the house one day and Peter was trying to get through the pool fence and was going to wheel himself into the swimming pool, mate, and drown himself because he didn't want to go the way that he went. And it's horrible, mate. And must be hard, Danny, seeing your loved ones go downhill so quick, mate. I saw it a bit with me dad with dementia and that, like how quickly dad went downhill. But motor neurone disease can work very, very quickly against the human body.
Yeah. Well, I think I told you earlier, for the others, I lost my job not long years before Pam came down, and we suddenly got to do a couple of courses.
Yeah.
And one of them was Certificate 3 in aged caring, which I just finished just a week before COVID, and before Pam was diagnosed, obviously.
Yeah.
And you just don't know what at the time I was pissed off to lose my job, but this course come in handy. You just don't know what's going to happen, really.
Yeah. And you're telling me off camera, mate, that course really helped you care for Pam.
Well, Pam didn't. She had hospitals. They're really bad. So, it was her wish to die at home, and she did. So, I'm pleased about that. I became a full carer. That's with the help of different organisations.
Yeah. Good on you, mate. That's Anyway, there she is, Danny's lovely wife, Pam. And as I said, there's probably a lot of people out there, Danny, that know someone who has been hit by motor neurone disease. And the next slide I think I've got here is of a very famous rugby league player from Queensland who represented the Brisbane Broncos, the North Queensland Cowboys in the NRL, and he also played State of Origin for Queensland, and he also played for the Kangaroos, the green and gold, represented his country. and he only passed away a few weeks ago. This guy here, Carl Webb, Danny, you probably don't know him, being from down there, but he was considered in his day, mate, one of the best.
Oh, yeah.
He was a real tough man, and he was a forward, played in the forwards with the big boys, and he was pretty well feared by the opposition. He was a very, very tough man, and Carl battled it for a couple of years, maybe 2 or 3. I remember hearing the news once, and they said Carl Webb's been diagnosed with motor neurone disease. Now, have a look at the guy there, mate. He was just a big, strapping footballer. And when he passed away, he looked like a weak old man, you know, like it's terrible what it does to the human body, mate. Like, even it doesn't discriminate, like cancer, Danny. It doesn't discriminate, mate.
Yeah.
It's a thing. I reckon it scares me worse than what cancer does, motor neurone, because there is no cure for it at the moment, is there?
No cure. There is a drug, but I don't think it works.
Yeah, well,
just something they come up with, I think.
Did Pam try that particular
drug? She tried it. It was Rizazole or something it's called. So I don't think it worked. Not for her anyway. Look at what worked for others. Everybody's different. So I can't say it doesn't work at all. So.
Yeah. How, Danny, I know this is a pretty imposing question, mate. Did she go peacefully and not in pain? Like, were they able to manage the pain? I know when Dad went, they just pump them full of morphine and that, mate. So they just passed away peacefully with no pain. Is that what they did with Pam?
Yeah, I was administering morphine when I thought she needed it. But she lived in pain most of her life anyway. So she from a spine that. But I said to be giving it to her when I thought she was anxious about things.
Yeah.
More than anything, just to calm her down. Because she had difficulties when I say it looked like she was having a bit of difficulty in getting anxious about it. So there was a time at that stage. So I was giving the morphine here.
Did they teach you that on that Certificate 3 Carers course, mate? Like,
the nurses. We had the nurses come in. I was told I could get earlier. The palliative nurses come in about a month or so before she passed, and they advised at that time, that bring it in and use it. Always handy just in case. But it also relaxes you as you realise. Yeah, so that's what I was using it for mainly.
Was it a tablet or via injection, mate?
Beg your pardon?
Was it a tablet or injection, the morphine?
No, it was liquid. So I had to put it into a feed.
Right. Okay. No worries. And as I said, Carl Webb, one a great, all the New South Welshmen and Queenslanders will remember Carl Webb, a wonderful, tough man. And for all the Aussie Rules supporters from West Aussie, Victoria, Tassie and that, this guy is still alive, Danny, and you've got his book, hopefully in arm's reach, mate.
Already.
I don't know too many Aussie Rules players, but I do remember this guy's name because I always used to hear them mentioning him. Played for Essendon, Neil Danaher.
What? And the book. Where's the book? Oh, yeah.
And there it is there, mate. Neil Danaher. Now, we're saying how quickly motor neurone disease can take people. Neil's been battling motor neurone disease for a long time, Danny.
Yeah, 2014, I believe. So that's 9 years. You can see it every year. You actually see him sometimes on the news or whatever. Mostly the big freeze, the big football match where they have the slide going down into the ice box.
Oh,
yeah. He started that. I
was wondering what the big freeze was on the beanies. It's when they was, and that was all in recognition of motor neurone disease, mate.
Yeah, all for charity, and if you ever watched that particular game, you'll see just about everyone. Like it's a big game, like 80 or 90,000 people turn up.
Yeah.
I was saying all of them have a boonie on their head.
Yeah.
Now, these days, yeah. Yeah, it's a big thing. I think they got 20 million, or was it 2 million? I can't remember now. They made a fair bit. They make a fair bit out of that for charity.
Yeah.
That's their biggest raiser. But they've obviously got others raising. I've done the Shut Up for charity forum twice,
Yeah.
where you have to not talk for 12 hours. So you can't do that much, right?
I could not do that, mate. That would be impossible for me.
Yeah.
Shut up for 12 hours. I can't do it for 12 minutes.
And they have walks, but they also have other things like, which I couldn't do, but they go to cacao and that sort of stuff with groups of people. They do that sort of stuff for charity. Yes. So yeah, this man's amazing how he accepts it all. And that's
I've always heard of Motor Neurone taking people within 1 or 2 years. Coming up 10 years now for Neil. So, boy, oh boy. Well, it just goes to show there are people out there who can fight it for a long time. I don't know. It's works in mysterious ways. As I said, Carl Webb was a big, strong man, and it took him in a couple of years, mate. So
that's the percentage of people that do go in 1 to 2 years. There are others who, I don't know if they're lucky or not, mate, to live that long with it. So it all depends on your perspective, I guess. But there's Stephen Hawking had it from the age of 40s, and he had it for 40 years or something.
And he was in that wheelchair and used to have the tube in his mouth. I didn't realise that was motor neurone disease. How's Neil going, mate? Is he still leading reasonable quality life? We don't hear of him up here.
Well, I don't know. Obviously, personally, only what I see, and I noticed on the big threes, he's actually still walking, still shuffling.
Yeah,
his arms aren't much good; they just sort of hang there.
Yeah,
and I really can't talk to that now, so he's slowly getting to him now, I think.
Yeah. Oh dear. Well, let's hope, mate, that with all the charities and the awareness and everything, and all the money that's been raised, that they do find some sort of cure or something that can prolong people's lives and give them some sort of quality of life while they're waiting to pass away, mate, because I've seen it firsthand with a mate of mine. It was horrible. And we had a big working bee, and one of the girls at work said, got a heap of coppers together, and we went around and did a big working bee on the yard and all that, because it was just getting too much for his wife, Lisa. And we went around, and Peter was there in his wheelchair, and it was just sad. It was sad seeing. I just remember not long ago, we were out on the street together as coppers arresting people, and and here he is in a bloody wheelchair and about to check out, mate. It was sad. It really was, and it's horrible. If you've ever seen anyone with motor neurone, as I said, you, Danny, your wife passed away from it, mate. So it doesn't get much closer to you than having your wife pass away, and she passed away peacefully at home, which is probably good to know, rather than in a hospital and, mate, with family around her.
That was it, yeah. I did do a little bit of research before I left. There was not the scary one, but the stats are, they say, are getting worse for MND, where there's 1 in 300 chance of getting it, actually. So it's not like a 1 out of 20,000, I think.
That's too low, mate. That's too bloody, or too high, I should say. That's too high a chance, isn't it?
Yeah, it was 2 people.
300.
2 people dying and 2 people being diagnosed every day.
Yeah.
Just in Australia, we're talking about.
Yeah,
they don't know much about it. No, they don't know why people get it. Except maybe genetics. That's one thing, but that's the only thing they know. But they're guessing like a virus or chemicals in food. They don't know. They've got no idea.
Yeah, and hopefully, with all the research they're doing, hopefully soon they will find out what causes it, and if they know what causes it, then maybe they can find a cure for it, mate.
Maybe AI is a good thing for them to get into.
Oh, well.
AI's going, so hopefully it can work it out.
Yeah, let's hope they do. Mate, when we were at the Harvey Bay camping event, you came up for that, And I remember you coming up to Roz and I and giving us these beanies and also some Motor Neurone Disease socks, which I'll tell you what, these are a brand new set. We wore the shit out of them in Victoria and Tasmania. And on the socks, guys, it's got never give up. And I guess that's a bit of a slogan for Motor Neurone Disease. Never give up, fight it all the way. And we wore these beanies and the socks as soon as we got down south, mate. They really came. And you know what? Didn't really know much about the beanies until you told us about them. And the amount of and all that, we really saw a lot of them, especially around Victoria, like tradies out working on the roads and that with their Motor Neurone Disease beanies on. We saw heaps of them, mate, which is good.
Yeah, I've seen them all over when I was away, so it's good.
Yeah.
He's actually calling. Neil gave the MND a name, and they actually call it the Beast. That's the nickname of the MND now.
Well, yeah, it is. As far as diseases go, you could probably call it the Beast. It's got to be one of the worst ones out there. Oh, it's just horrific, mates. How quickly it can just decay the human body and break down the human body, mate, from movements to speech to and towards the end being able to breathe properly and all that type of stuff. It's just it's a horrible, horrible thing. And anyway, there's people out there that probably know someone. Hopefully no one out there like you, Danny, that's had to go through and lose a loved one, mate, from this horrible thing. I'll get out of this for now, mate, and before we go back into there, remove that. Hopefully, I haven't been able to see the comment section during that, guys. But yeah, Danny. Anyway, mate, we feel for you, mate, and obviously it was a couple of years ago that Pam passed away. Just bloody terrible. I can't think anything worse, mate. Losing one of your kids to it, maybe it's the only other thing I could think of that could possibly be worse is to lose your kids.
Yes, exactly. I agree. For that, yeah.
And it doesn't discriminate with age. I think you were telling me, mate.
Discriminate with age, but normally it's normally older. Percentage with the older people, 50 upwards.
Yeah.
Normally, it can be a lot earlier, but not likely. Maybe that's why they think it might be something like a virus or something.
Yeah.
As you go through life, you get more things wrong with you, don't
you? Yeah, that's true, mate. True. So, yeah, it's Terry G saying Pam sounded like a beautiful woman. I'm sure she was, Danny, and she looks like a lovely woman. So,
yeah, she was.
Anyway, before we meet, anything else you want to mention or that I've forgotten to ask you about, mate, as far as Motor Neurone Disease goes? Is there a way people can support Motor Neurone Disease by buying the beanies and stuff, mate, or a set of socks? Is there a website that people can go to buy some?
Yeah, there is.
The socks are bloody really good.
Yeah, MMD store got a lot of stuff, like all sort of things, like that. And the beanies always come out around a month before or 2 months before that game. So they're usually at Bunnings and service stations and places like that. You get them there. So,
it's good to see companies like Bunnings and that getting on board with something like this. So if you ever see a Motor Neurone Disease beanie getting around, guys, or the socks or whatever else they've got, bloody grab a set because, as I said, it all goes towards research for Motor Neurone Disease, and we really need to find a cure for it because it's bloody horrible. It is a horrible thing. So anyway, Danny, what we might do, mate, is induct Pam into the...
I'd just like to say one other thing about the it doesn't affect the people's cognitive at all,
okay.
Their hearing or anything like that. They're still there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like dementia or anything like that.
Okay, so they've bad terminology. They've got their marbles right till the end, mate. Yeah. It's just their speech and that gets affected, obviously.
Yeah.
But they still, if you're talking to them, they understand. They remember. They know what you're talking about and all that type of stuff.
Exactly what you're saying. You can't. talk when they're back with that way. You know.
Yeah. Bloody hell. Yeah. So anyway, what we might do, Danny, is raise a beer or a glass or whatever you got in your hand, guys, to Pam, and think of Pam and induct her into the camping mob up in the sky there with all the other ones that have passed away. Hopefully she's up there, mate, sitting around the big campfire in the sky with all the other guys. And yeah, mate. So I'm sure you'll always remember her fondly, and we always like to think that one day we'll be up there with our loved ones when they pass away, mate.
As you know, your partner always, you rely on your partner, and they always got you back, no matter what happens, good times and bad times.
Yeah.
So you know, we're over 30 years and looking like we're hoping for 50, but obviously didn't happen. But yeah, so but just remember that you're only there for a short time, so
yeah.
So you know, just keep things good.
Exactly as you said, mate. We're only here for a short time, and you just don't know what's around the corner, do we? You know, a traffic accident or a horrible disease like this coming along. So I keep saying it. Try and make every post a winner, everyone. And if you want to do something and you're in a position to do it, get out and do it, because you don't know if something like this is going to strike you down, and you may not get a chance to do it. So I guess that's
do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Did Pam like going out camping and that, mate? Were you into the camping and all that when she was with you?
She did. We had 3 or 4 caravans, and
yeah,
we only went to caravan parks for the kids and that. We never did any free camping or any bush camping or that. We had just the kids, but we had planned to do it when we retired.
Yeah.
We've kind of done that, but she would have been with me doing those with the off-road caravan we got now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I said I'll still do it for us, sort of thing. Yeah.
No, that's good, mate. Anyway, we've all raised a glass to Pam, mate, and thanks for chatting with us tonight about motor neurone disease, mate. It's not when you've lost a loved one to it, it can't be easy to come on and talk to everyone about it. But thanks for making us aware of it. And hopefully, if anyone sees the merch, they can get on board and go and buy a beanie or a couple of pair of socks and all that type of stuff. They're very good quality. And hopefully one day down the track, while we're still around, mate, we'll be on here again saying they found a cure for motor neurone disease, or at least know what's causing it firstly. Why do people get it? Then when they find that out, then they can start going down the road of the thing. So anyway, mate, appreciate you talking to us about that difficult subject. And it must be hard, mate, for you to come on and talk about that when you've lost your wife to the horrible thing. So anyway, we really appreciate you having a chat with it. But we'll get on with some more pleasant stuff now, Danny. Good. We'll get on to the camping side of things, mate, and talk about. I'll tell you what I'm going to do now that the motor neurone disease thing's over. It's the middle of summer up here, even though I've got the aircon on. I'm going to put the cap on, mate. The old beanie. She's not beanie weather up here at the moment. Geez, it's been hot, mate. And speaking of weather, we are staring down the barrel of yet another cyclone, and this one is going to be a big one, they reckon. So they don't know where it's going to hit yet, mate, but this could be a big one, Category 4, they reckon, or possibly a 5, crossing somewhere between Carbwell and Mackay. Carbwell's an hour down the road, so if it hits Carbwell, we're going to get smacked here too. Townsville, Airlie Beach, where the Gidgee is, Mackay, but a couple of things now. Danny is saying it's going to come across the coast somewhere, maybe just south of Townsville, and it's going to go in and belt Charters Towers and then do a big loop and come back out at Harvey Bay and whip itself up into a Category 2 as soon as it hits Harvey Bay again. So, and then they reckon Brisbane and the Sunshine Coast could experience Category 2 type conditions that far down south. So this could do some damage, guys. Keep your ear to the ground. I forget the name of what it's going to be called, but they reckon by tomorrow it's going to actually be a cyclone. And all we can do, that's one good thing about Victoria, I suppose, you get bushfires and that. You don't get cyclones down there. But, I mean, we're still recovering from the last one, Cyclone Jasper, only a month ago. Northern Cairns and that's still washed away. Roads washed away. The Palmerston Highway, just 20 minutes up the road from me, is closed for another 6 months before they get the highway. It just washed away. And that one wasn't so much the wind, it was the amount of rainfall that dropped on that one. This one's going to be the wind. They think a high-end Category 4, mate. So it's wherever it hits, it's going to cause a lot of damage. Predicting, Windy's predicting it to cross at Lucinda, which is just north of Townsville. Yeah, 40 minutes north of Townsville. So anyway, I'll be pulling the shade sails down yet again. Dear, oh dear, and doing all my cyclone prep again, everyone. We just been through it, and we've got to go through it again. Get ready. Don't panic, but we've got to be ready for it because
Is that ever before, Buck, where you said it comes across and goes back again? Yeah, comes across, then goes back to the sea?
Well, they can, mate. They can double back on themselves. They are so unpredictable. But they reckon this one's going to come in and smack around the Townsville area within a couple of hours either side of Townsville. I'll tell you now, if Townsville get hit by Cat 4, there is going to be a devastation. That's a big town, a couple 100,000 people in Townsville. That's going to be a lot of devastation there. Mum lives in Townsville, as you know, mate, so a bit worried about Mum being down there. We'll see what it is. As I said, too early yet. In a couple more days, they'll probably know better where it's going to hit. But at the moment, a couple of days ago, they're going to hit anywhere between Cairns and Brisbane, which is about 2,000 kilometres. So, yeah, I could have picked that it's going to hit the Queensland coast somewhere between Cairns and Brisbane. But they're narrowing it down now. Scrub Turkey saying the Townsville Bowen area, which is, someone's saying just north of Townsville. But if it hits, Bowen's 2 hours south of Townsville. So down towards Early Beach, Gidgey's down there. So Gidgey's only just moved to Early Beach. You might get smacked with a big cyclone within the first couple of weeks of him being there. So we'll see what happens. I'd like to think it just bloody peters out and just gives everyone a bit of rain. I was hoping it'd go across near Rockhampton, down near Trev Kelly as a Cat 1 or even a tropical low and give central Queensland some rain. But it looks like someone's going to get smacked hard. Anyway, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So Terry G and Robin down there in Harvey Bay, crazy dog, they reckon it's going to, where it crosses in North Queensland, she's going to do a big loop and come back out into the ocean or over the Harvey Bay area and whip itself up as soon as it gets over Harvey Bay because the waters are so warm at the moment. As soon as it hits the water, it starts spinning up again. And I reckon Brisbane and the Sunshine Coast could experience some real hairy weather as well. But whoever gets the Cat 4, not looking forward to that. We got a Cat 4 here in 2006, mate, high-end Cat 4. And it looked like a nuclear bomb had gone off in Innisfail. There was not a green leaf on a tree. You look up at the mountains, it was just stripped bare, mate. The mountains were stripped bare. There were just sticks. There was no green anywhere. It looked like like you've seen a thing of a nuclear bomb going off, and just that's what it was like after Cyclone Larry. And then Yasi again in 2011, which was a Cat 5. So they both did horrible bloody. Yeah, Mr. Bullet saying Gidgey's digging up the helicopters they buried. Yeah, I bet they're wishing that they had those helicopters. If it smacks Townsville as a Category 4, yeah, they've got no bloody Army helicopters to help out anymore. But anyway, what we'll do, mate, is recently, or you've just got back late last year. When did you get back from a 5-month trip, camping trip?
October, I believe. Remember?
October you got back, yeah.
October, yeah, I think it was just over 5 months.
Yep. All right, what we'll do here, there's Neil again. That is your setup, mate. Tell us a bit about your setup. I before I saw the Mazda thing, I'm thinking, is that a Colorado or a D-Max? Didn't realise, mate, it's the new Gen 3, if you want to call it that. Gen 3 BT50.
Yeah, Isuzu. It is really.
Yeah.
Just got the badge on it for Mazda. Well, I've had 3 or 4 Mazdas, so had no troubles with them.
Yeah.
So we went for a Mazda again and waited for the Isuzu. My wife didn't want the Ford at the time. She didn't like Fords.
What year's that one, mate?
Yeah, so then I went look for caravans to face the other one and came over the Opus 15. Because of the white, I got on to you actually because they're whites. I never worried about whites before, and I had headaches, not headaches, but sleepless nights. You want to try and work them out, and in the future I had to get a GVM and a GCM upgrade on it.
Did you? Yeah. Well, there you go. A 15-foot caravan. These Chinese caravans are heavy little buggers, mate. No matter what brand you buy. So you had to get a GVM upgrade as well, mate, because of the tow ball.
Well, I couldn't carry anything in the car if I didn't, because I've got all the goods on it. You see.
Yeah.
I did that before I was finding out what I was getting. So the caravans are 3 ton when loaded, and the Isuzu was only 3.1. The GCM was only 5.9.
Oh, 5.9, righto.
GCM, that was the problem. So I couldn't put anything in the car, and I brought that up to about a week before I went to Harvey Bay. So
yeah, righto.
Getting stuff for swagging, so I wasn't supposed to get that till like 6 months later, and I reckon someone cancelled it, so I got it early, and set this up for swagging and that, and I haven't even pulled the 270 awning yet, and I've done it, but it's going to be good. But so the GCM went to 6,900, and the GVM went to 36. So I've got no problems now.
Who did your upgrade, mate? Who did the GVM and GCM upgrade?
Lovell's.
Lovell's, okay. Yeah, that's one of the popular ones.
It's lucky I was in Victoria too at the time, because I believe Victoria was one of the only ones who upgraded GCM. So
yes, exactly right, mate. You can get a GVM upgrade, but GCM are very thing. Or if you do it now, you got to do it pre-rego, mate, or they won't do it at all.
Yeah, I think the levels are going to change it all. I think they'll have it all in every state soon if they haven't done it already. So I haven't really followed it, but they're going to get it go through it and get it all done. Where you get GCM every state, so through levels.
Yeah, that's good. And you hit it on the head there. I've said it in a few other ones. If you've got a dual cab ute, guys, or a 4-wheel drive, and you start seeing what Danny's got on there, spotties, bull bar, recovery points on the front, snorkel, canopy, awning, roof rack. You got drawers in the back, mate.
And also it's also that 50K free slide in the back.
Yeah, exactly. If you're going to put all the fruit on it, as we do if we're going to go touring, and you want to tow a caravan, you're going to be over GVM. The amount of people that bury their heads in the sand, mate, and just do it anyway. I saw it every caravan park. You just look and go, no way is illegal. But you did the right thing, mate. Got a GVM and a GCM upgrade. And as I said, if you're going to put all the gear on your 4-wheel drive and then you want to tow a caravan, you will need a GVM upgrade. Exactly what Cam Wilde did with his brand new 300 series Toyota Land Cruiser. Needed a GVM upgrade. You know, like it's just, if you're going to start doing all this type of stuff, you've got to do that. So it goes well, mate, the new Generation 3 BT50.
Yeah, well, I don't put it over any more than the speed limit. When I'm caravaning, I take the caravan up. I was lucky if I was doing 90 or just over, and at times there was nothing on the road. I was only doing 80, you know. Because as you know, like as soon as you put weight on it, it starts using the fuel.
Yeah, you suck the fuel down, towing, you get about, at least 200 Ks less to a tank when you're towing. And my BT50.
I was getting pretty well, even 3 ton. I was getting 15 to 16 K, so I thought that was good.
Yeah, I was between 15s and 17s, depending on headwinds and all that when I did mine thing with my BT, which is a Ford Ranger. yours is the D-Max, the new Generation 3
Yeah,
VT changed from Ford, and they
Awesome.
went into cahoots with Isuzu D-Max. So that's basically a D-Max with a Mazda badge.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, and also because I've had great reports about Isuzu, so as a tow vehicle.
Yeah, they got a good reputation, the D-Max. And there it is there, mate. That was your weapon of choice, an Opus 15-foot off-road camper trailer, pop top, similar to what Roz and I had with the Jawa Sirocco, only I didn't want one with the fold-out bit at the back. I didn't want that. How did you find that, mate? Was it a pain in the bum, or was it did you like it?
It was good. If I did it overnight, I only put up the pop top and slept on the bed sideways because it was a what they call it, a king bed.
Yeah,
so
right.
I could sleep on it sideways. Anyone bigger than me probably couldn't, but taller. But yeah, so if I go like that, but if I was staying more than one night, I pulled that early. Took I took my time and set that up. It was only 15, 20 minutes. That's all.
Yeah.
That
No, that's all right.
I never pulled the awning out. You know that awning's never been pulled out, so I bought it.
Yeah, it'll only blow away if you do. Anyway, they are flimsy pieces of shit, the awnings on those off-road caravans. Those wind out, or whether electric or not, they are flimsy, mate, and they cannot handle high winds.
Well, on the trip, I was up and gone by, 8, 9 o'clock or something, and wasn't back to night. Like, what's the point of putting it anyway? Because it'll come back, would have been down the road somewhere.
Yeah, we got a lot of rain on our trip, so we had ours out a fair bit, and it was good to keep us dry, but as soon as the wind picked up, mate, it had to go in. It was useless in not just high winds, even in medium winds. They were useless, absolutely useless, those awnings. I hated them. One thing someone did, which is why I didn't want to get one of these with a fold-out back, someone said there's no insulation in this back area here. And especially up here in the north, when the sun hits it in the morning, it's like a bloody sweat box inside that.
And what about the ice box in winter?
Well, there is no insulation whatsoever,
No.
And even the insulation in these Chinese caravans is shocking anyway. Even in the Sirocco, you could feel that cold coming through the walls. But that's got no insulation whatsoever, mate, because that just folds out.
And the first week I was travelling or so, I don't got any sleep. It was that bloody cold. So I got online and ordered a Chinese diesel meter.
Yeah.
I had to pick that up further up the road and install it. Yeah, we had the right tools too, by the way. So the best thing I ever put in, mate. I had a low because it's so small, as you know.
Yeah.
As low as it go, and I kept it on until I went to bed, and I go for a PP stop every so often, so I just turned off midnight when I gave my first one.
Yeah.
And that was fine after that. But they are good, diesel heaters.
I'd have a second doona, put a doona between me and the wall because I could feel the coldness radiating through the wall of the caravan. I think they only got bloody like esky foam like that in those Chinese caravans. The insulation in them is shite.
Oh yeah, they're nice. I had a zero. That's what they call zero sleeping bag, and a bloody big woolen bloody blanket. I'll still freeze my ass off.
Yeah, someone said up here in Queensland, when the sun hits that, you couldn't have a sleep in the morning. It was too hot because there's absolutely no insulation. I know a lot of people with these end bits, mate, had a sail track and they had a like some sort of awning set up to come over that for the rain and for the sun and that. So, but anyway, you're happy with it, mate?
Oh yeah. It's very, very good. Still, but little things go wrong with them, which I've got to repair, but because it's about a worry now, obviously. But they're really minor. They're going to cost a few dollars here and there.
Yeah.
So, but overall, I'm happy with it. It's still what I ask it. I'm not punishing it. So, so it's done really well. I
Good
think
stuff.
I think the Snorky's got one of these type of caravans. I think he's
Yeah, he's got the Oz track.
yeah.
He's got the 13-foot Oz track.
Now I looked at well, I know how many, I've got hundreds of, not hundreds, but a dozen or more of these. There's more than that of these hybrids, and I fished up this because it was I was only going to get the 13-footer, but when I went to the showrooms to have a good look at them,
Yeah,
they had this as well. It's got 2 bunks in it, and I thought, oh, grandkids, you don't know what, if they're going to come with me later years, so
yeah,
I thought I may as well get it now. When I pass it on, I pass it on to one of my kids, and they could have it for for them, So I thought I went to the 2 bunks.
yeah.
Yeah.
These 15-foot ones here, there's so many brands out here that have just got the different sticker on, mate. You got the Jawa Infinity 15, the MDC, long haul campers, Oztrack, Opus. I'm sure they're all out of the same factory, mate. They just make subtle changes and put a different sticker on them.
Exactly, yeah. So I upgraded the battery system, that sort of stuff, with their batteries, obviously, and that sort of stuff. And I'm like Phil, I use a induction cooker and air fryer, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm by myself, on that trip anyway, I only had fires, I think. That's all I had. But I was getting home when I was back home to the caravan, and it was 6 o'clock. I didn't want to fire that time of night. Throw something on, cook it up, and air fryer, and Bob's your uncle.
Mate, I was up everyone for having coffee machines last week, and people were quick to remind me, Buck, who was using an air fryer on his trip. But I rate the air fryers, mate. If you've got the lithium battery that can support it, you can cook up a good meal in those little small air fryers. They're bloody good, but I'll still stand by it. Now, instant or bloody cappuccino machine, mate?
My son's got a coffee maker here, so he makes me nice caramel lattes. I like caramel latte. But when I'm away, when he's not around, I use the sachets. Them.
Oh yeah.
I don't particularly like coffee itself.
Yeah.
Bit bitter for me.
Yes.
But I do have it sometimes, and that's all I got. I'll have about a quarter teaspoon in it and a couple of sugars to get rid of the taste.
Yeah, those sachets, they've got some different flavours and all that type of stuff. So if I can, that's about as big as I can make that, I think. But basically, there's a map of Australia. I don't know what colour, say the yellowy, the dull orangey colour going over into Queensland. That was the Harvey Bay event, Danny, was it, when you come up to Harvey Bay for the Buckaroony event?
That was Harvey Bay, yep.
And you've gone, the green one now is from Beaconsfield in Victoria. You've gone all the way across South Aussie, and we'll talk a bit about your trip now, mate, back into South Aussie across the Nullarbor. Can you see my green cursor, mate, going?
No, I can see mine out of the way. Now I get that out of the way. I don't see yours. No, I can't see yours at all.
Oh, okay. Across the Nullarbor there.
Yeah.
Now, when you get across to Norseman, did you go down south to Esperance, or did you go across to Kalgoorlie?
No, I went down to Esperance and followed the coast.
Yeah, okay. So you went down south first, and then up, and then on the way back, you went back through Kalgoorlie.
Yeah. I had to go to Kalgoorlie to finish me golf, Nullarbor golf off.
And we're going to talk about that. Something I hadn't really heard of. Wait till you hear, Dan, about the longest golf course in the world, guys. Danny's going to tell us all about that soon. Hey, you've got some silos, mate. One thing I noticed going through your Facebook page is some of the beautiful wheat silos that have been painted up. And as we know in Australia, there's some absolute crackers getting around. I need my notes for this, mate, because I can't remember where this was. This is a silo at Kaniva. Is it Kaniva or something? In
Kaniva, yeah.
In Victoria?
Kaniva, I can't remember what. Mate, I stopped at 44 stops. I was out every day. I did 600 posts. I don't remember much.
I know, and that's why I was saying I'm spewing. I got rid of my old YouTube channel because now I've forgotten all the names of places and that, and I wish I had the old YouTube channel to go back on, but I haven't. So that was at Geneva, I think is in Victoria. This one is at Horsham, where an old mate of mine, Flash Kenny's passed away now. Flash was from Horsham. So have a look at that. Black cockatoo, mate. How good does that look? Was that an old wheat? What was that there, mate, at Horsham?
Oh, have you got the other one? The other one, the whole thing of it? That's part of it.
Yeah.
You got the whole lot of it. Is it?
No, I mean, that's all I've got of that one, mate. But they're wheat silos, are they, at Horsham?
Yeah. No, they were.
Look at that.
Yeah, you can see the wheat there.
Look at the work that's gone into that. I wonder whoever does these silos, the artwork on these wheat silos. I mean, have a look at the black cockatoo, mate. That's the whole side of a massive building that's been painted as a black cockatoo.
You see the whole thing in one. That's absolutely great. You virtually can't get it in. You can't get back far enough to get it all in. That's how big it is. This really set. I love silos. I see I don't know how many heaps. If I was going close to one, or Lost Park somewhere, I'd go over K loop to see more.
Yeah.
During the day, with the caravan sort of thing. And also the murals. The murals were fantastic in the towns.
Yeah. Terry G was telling me that when he goes to Goombara this year, him and Robin want to go and do a bit of a silo tour in some of the outback Queensland towns. Look at that for artwork. And that's not just a billboard paint. That is the side of a building, mate. Absolutely incredible. Look at that. The whole.
Yeah.
Geez, that's awesome in Victoria. This one here is that Kimber, a place called Kimber?
Yeah, Kimber, yeah.
Well, I don't know where Kimber's Victoria or South Australia. I'm not sure.
I remember the names. I can't place them.
Look at that one. That's more wheat. A kid in a wheat field there. Like there's what's there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 massive wheat silos, and they've painted the whole entire side of them. God, it looks good. I know a lot of places in Australia are doing this now. The Big Galah, where was that at, mate? That's in Kimber as well. Does anyone know the Big Galah? I know a few blokes who are Big Galahs, but there it is, the Big Galah. I've never seen that in real life. That's at a little place called Kimber, and he's got a bit of Aboriginal painting on him there, Aboriginal artwork. Good stuff. Snowtown. Now, I'm sure Roz and I went through here. This one's called the Mural Town or something. I think the whole main street of Snowtown has got murals and that. And we couldn't get down to the water tower. We missed the turn-off or whatever. That's the Snowtown water tower, all painted up. And that's the other side of it with the rural firefighter. How good is that, mate?
Yeah. Brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, this one here.
Was it Snowtown that I don't know if it was Snowtown or somewhere else, but the bodies in the barrel or something? I can't remember.
That? Yeah, I remember that. That might have been Snowtown. That was in South Australia.
Yeah.
That was Snowtown, South Australia. I don't know if that's the same place. Someone might know in the comments. But this one's at a place called Cunalpin. I'm tipping is how you pronounce it.
Yeah, that doesn't sound.
It's Cunalpin. I'm tipping is how you say that. That's the wheat silos at a place called Cunalpin. I'll get corrected by someone if I've said that wrong. If anyone knows if I've pronounced that right. Look at that. They're not small, mate. They are massive wheat silos, and I don't know how they do the artwork on them, but it is very, very good. Now, probably not the best photo there, but we went past the Grampians in Victoria on our way out of it, and I'll tell you what, the weather was shite, but the Grampians look beautiful, Danny.
Mate, I haven't been to Halls Gap or the Grampians. I live in Victoria, and I made it please myself. On the way back, I was going there, and it was actually a beautiful place.
Yeah. We didn't go into the Grampians. We went past on the highway, and we could see the mountains and that of the Grampians from the highway. We were going to Echuca or something from memory, but it looked nice, mate. And that's another place. You always hear of people mentioning the Grampians in Victoria. That's another, if we ever get down to Victoria again, I think we should go in and have a look, because looking on your Facebook thing, there was a lot to see and do in there.
I'd say that's a bucket list for everybody.
Yeah, bushwalking, waterfalls.
Mate, and you've got to be fit to those walks, I tell you. I did a few of them.
Yeah. No, it looked absolutely the thing. It's so that was the Grampians. Now, where was this fella at? The giant koala, another one I haven't seen. Where was he at?
South Australia, I can't remember where.
South Australia, is he?
Yeah,
anyone know? Here, I'll get out of this. If I can go back to I've got to exit that screen. Hang on, everyone. Where is the giant koala? I just want to get back so I can see the comments. Terry G saying he can't wait to do the Silo Arts Trail. And there is a trail you can do, Danny, where you can just go. I guess if you Google Silo Arts Trail, you can go to all the towns that have got all their wheat silos painted up.
Yeah, Terry, do the if you go through town, do the murals too. Murals. Yeah. They're fantastic. One of them.
The Galar, someone said.
Did you see that mural of where was it? I've got it here somewhere. I'll bring it down a little bit. Where's murals?
Gallagher Bone.
No, there's one. Oh yeah, it was a mural in Esperance with the light horses.
Oh, I'm spewing to see that one. No,
go back and look at it, but that was a beautiful mural.
Yeah, wow. Well, there's something like that. I didn't see that one on your face. I would have put that one up.
Yeah, horses, quite a few horses. It's beautiful.
Terry G saying there's a Facebook group if you want to do the silo trips and see all the painted silos. There you go, Terry. I might have to get onto that, mate, and maybe something me and Roz can do on our way back from Goombara or whatever is maybe go out and see a few of these silos. Saw a couple of painted up places, but my goodness, those wheat silos are next level, aren't they? They're absolutely incredible. Where's the big koala, guys? Where's the giant koala at? What town? Does anyone know?
Doing more silos all the time. So all the towns are getting in on it now.
Yeah, and I think it's fantastic, mate. Like, it just gives people go through a town, and it makes people stop in the town, get photos. Next thing you know, they're probably going to a cafe or having a countery or whatever while they're there. I think it's an absolute, there's dozens there. Craig Tompkinson saying there's dozens. And, mate, the more the better. I reckon they look absolutely fantastic. Still trying to find out where the giant koala is. Here, maybe here. Ed? Dead Wells Bridge just out of Horsham.
Okay.
Do you remember that, Danny? The big koalas out of Dead Wells Bridge out of Horsham.
It sounds right. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for that, Ed. The big koala. There's a big everything. You go, there's the big prawn, the big banana, the big the giant cassowary here on the Cassowary coast at Mission Beach. There's big things everywhere.
Big rocking horse and the winery area. You see that?
Yeah. Where's that?
Big rocking horse. It's in the Barossa area.
No, I haven't seen that one. The big rocking horse. Johnny Tyson reckons the big galahs in Innisfail. That's the big diddly donk. Serena's got the big diddly donk. Kane Higgins, he's there. So we'll bring that one back. We'll get back into the Kenny Koala there. We'll keep going with the slideshow.
I remember also, I've been way around. I kept on seeing these blue trees. I couldn't work out.
I saw quite a few of them. And you know what? They're just a big dead gum tree, and they paint them a really striking blue colour, and they look good, don't they?
You know what they're about?
No, I don't.
It's about depression.
Is that right?
Yeah, someone had a child die, I think.
Yeah.
And they decided to paint the tree blue for that reason. And then it caught on. Now it's everywhere.
I saw a lot of blue trees on our trail. I said, Roz, there's another blue tree. There you go. I did not know that, Danny. It's to do with depression.
Yes, yeah.
It's just an old, go past a paddock and there's a bright, striking blue, like a royal blue dead gum tree painted. And you think, who painted that? And it's to do with depression. I did not know that, mate.
Actually, some cancers actually whatever, there must be concrete or something, and like a tree and painted blue as well. And I thought, well, why they painted blue? And I thought, well, the old thing about being sad was you had the blues. Maybe that was the reason, you know?
Yes, making sense now. Has anyone else seen blue gum trees in their travels? There is one around here in North Queensland I saw recently, not too far south of Innisfail. I can't remember where it was now, but I saw a few of the, Roz and I saw quite a few of the blue trees. Yeah. Now I know what it's about. Yeah. Makes sense now. Got the blues, raising awareness for depression. It takes a lot of people take their lives from bloody depression. So there you go. I didn't know that, Danny. Thanks for telling me, mate. This one here is looking towards, what a beautiful view that is, looking out towards Kangaroo Island in South Australia.
Yeah, I didn't get to Kangaroo. I didn't want to go because I didn't want to just spend a day there. So I thought I'll come back another time and take the caravan, spend a week or more there.
It's not a small island either. It's a massive island. And we talked to...
They don't have buses or anything like that, like some of the other ones.
Yeah.
So you can't do much when you get there, really, unless you're on a tour.
Yeah. I remember after the bushfires, guys, remember talking about Tony Purdy, and Tony when took his soldiers over to Kangaroo Island, and they spent about a month just picking up dead kangaroos and dead koalas, and Kangaroo Island was devastated by the bushfires in 2020, mate, wasn't it? 2020, the Black Summer bushfires, and Tony Purdy said that was one of the worst things he's had to do was go over to Kangaroo Island, and he said the boys were just gutted, like picking up hundreds of dead, burnt koalas and kangaroos that have been burnt to death, mate, on Kangaroo Island. Bloody horrible. That's a beautiful view, mate.
Just what I remember, you only shown a couple of photos. I reckon I've got thousands of photos on there. There's a 600 posts, literally one every day, or 3 every day. And if anyone wants to look at them, it is open to the public. Just go to Freddy Boots and
look up Freddy Boots on Facebook, guys. And as I said, mate, I only touched on the tip of the iceberg here. I went through this morning and just picked out a few of your photos, but you've got a lot of videos on there and all that. So if people want to see your trip, they could probably spend all day on there looking at your videos and your photos, mate. Yeah. So get on there, send Freddie a friend request. Now, you're probably thinking, everyone, what the bloody hell is that? It looks like a tee off area and the driest golf course in the world. Tell us a bit about one of the main reasons you did this trip, mate, to do with golf.
That's part of most of the Nullarbor, a bit more, but I like golf. And because this is a lot of people probably know, but this is the longest 18 holes in the world. 18 holes go from Ceduna right through to Kalgoorlie, which is about 1,600 k's. It's 18 holes, and there's only probably Ceduna and Kalgoorlie where there's actually proper golf course. Otherwise, this is how you're playing. Each hole, mostly on the Nullarbor.
Hey, just so Mike Blakely and them know where we're talking about.
Yeah.
Danny, can you see my green cursor?
I can.
Okay, beauty. So for Mike and Steve W. and that, there's Australia, guys. Danny lives down here in near Melbourne. And he travelled across in past LA. You've got to go right up to Port Augusta here. I'll tell you what is, Danny, while I'm there, I've done this trip here, mate, is knowing that I was driving from Brisbane to Perth, and I'm driving along, and I knew I had to head west, going over west. But for a few hours, you knew you were traveling north, but the ocean was on your left-hand side. And this is like the outback up in here. It's as dry as buggery going up towards Port Augusta, and the ocean's still on your left-hand side. It was a really weird feeling.
Yeah.
Did you get that feeling too, mate, that you're going,
no, I didn't get
I feel like I'm traveling into the middle of Australia and I've still got ocean on my left-hand side?
Because you're at the top, you're always have your ocean on your right-hand side, don't you? At Queensland, up where you are. That's probably the reason. Well, we're all, if we go left, we're always on the left-hand side. If you work down from
I am there.
Downwards, or upwards, you're going to be on the right, aren't you?
Yeah, but it just felt weird, mate. It felt like I was in the middle of Australia, about to run into Ayers Rock or Uluru, and I still had ocean on my left-hand side. It was just a weird feeling. We stayed overnight. I stayed in Port Augusta there when Lauren was a little girl. And then we go across. This is where she starts getting a bit remote over here. So this is where you're talking about, Danny, now. The longest 18-hole golf course in the world goes from Ceduna to Kalgoorlie.
Yeah.
And that's a distance of about, I don't know, 1,500 kilometres or something. Yeah. It's a bloody long way. And this along here, Mike, if you're watching, is called the Nullarbor. The Nullarbor Plain. Nullarbor is an Aboriginal word for no trees. There are absolutely no trees on the Nullarbor, but there are some beautiful camp spots right on the Great Australian Bight here near Eucla.
Don't forget the longest straightest road or something too.
Yeah, the longest straight road, or the longest, is it 160 kilometres before the bend or something? It's a like 100-mile of just straight road. And as I said, the Indian Pacific goes along here too somewhere, doesn't it? From Sydney, I think the Indian Pacific train goes along the Nullarbor from memory. But there's the longest golf course in the world. And you played it, Danny, from Ceduna in South Australia over to Kalgoorlie, which is a gold mining town in Western Australia. And you played all 18 holes, did you, mate?
Yeah, I did. I played Kalgoorlie the way back, but I did. Proof. I got me. Where are you? Got me scorecard.
Mate, that's a big achievement, isn't it?
And I got my certificate. I got a frame.
What's it say? Certificate of completion. What's it say underneath that, mate?
Could get some light. Nullarbor links, certificate of completion proceeded to me, Danny Bowes, on the 29th of September.
So there you go. Mike is a golf course that goes for about 1,500 kilometres, 18 holes. The longest golf course in the world. And as I said, there's not much out there, is there? She's a dry old golf course.
Yeah, you got to tee up, because I didn't start off there when I was doing my golf club. I paid a lot of money for them, so that was it. Tee up everywhere else.
You'd be hitting sticks and rocks and shit. How do you know where the next hole is, mate? Is there something you can follow that tells you the next town where the next?
Even the card tells you where it is, but most of the Nullarbor roadhouses.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
so they have a look at roadhouses.
The card tells you. Plus, there's another paperwork I had too with me to tell me exactly when I couldn't buy it. Just went to the roadhouse and said, just go that way, buddy. We'll turn down there.
Imagine trying to hit her in amongst those rocks there. You'd do a few clubs, wouldn't you?
I had to tee it up in the finish because I was ruled to be club.
Hitting all them rocks. So that's another. Do you remember where that one was? Like, is that one of the South Australian holes or one of the West Aussie holes?
I don't know.
They're all probably,
on Facebook, it tells you every one where it is. Well, I put something in, but they're at. I should be lying, but I can't see.
No, that's all right.
Denial Bay, windmill. What was it? We had all those windmills at one of their roadhouses.
Yeah, right,
Border, kangaroo, another board.
Border town, yeah.
Yeah, Border town.
Oh, that's all right. It would have been a good achievement to do that. Wow, was that one of your goals, mate, when you took off, was to actually do those 18 holes?
I knew about it, so yeah, it was one of the goals, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. What a great way to incorporate into your camping trip, mate, is to actually fit the golf in as well. See, as you're a keen golf. Nullarbor Plain, there you go. Nullarbor, Aboriginal word for no trees.
There's a 19 hole up every hole.
Yeah, you need a 19th hole there where you can wet the whistle a bit with a cold beer.
Yeah.
Eastern end of the treeless plain. So that's the start of the Nullarbor from South Australia before you get into West Aussie.
Actually, Lady Smurf just said it's actually quite famous, and it is. And people who actually come over just to play it.
Oh, wow. Is that right?
Yeah.
Jesus, you say, hey, love, I'm just going out to have a game of golf. I'll see you in a month. By the time you get home, where's that? Is that part of it? Is that one of that? Looks a bit better there.
Kalgoorlie, it's a real golf course. And I was amazed by this place. You know, around the area, it's just red dirt everywhere.
Yeah.
No grass, can't see any grass. Well, this they grow their own turf.
Oh, wow.
Those cracks that grow their own turf. And so that's all turf. So
is Kalgoorlie the 18th hole, mate? Is that the last hole?
Yeah, it's the last hole. Yes, I think there's two. Is there 2 holes there? There might be 2 there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that and Ceduna were the only real golf courses.
Okay, so Ceduna had one. So yeah, that'd be a good achievement. Finish the 17th and 18th hole in Kalgoorlie, and it'd be a good reason to celebrate with a cold beer, mate, after doing that golf course.
Oh, yeah, it was lovely. And Kalgoorlie I was there for 4 days, and it was hot. That day was about 39, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I had to play it.
Another place that been Kalgoorlie. This one here, Wild World at Albany.
Yeah.
Albany there, Whale World. Tell you a quick story. I took my daughter Lauren when she was a little girl to Whale World down in Albany. And it's not Albany. In Queensland, there's a suburb in Brisbane called Albany Creek, Albany, but in Western Australia, the town is pronounced Albany. Lauren got nailed by an inch ant there, one of them big bulldog ants, though the biggest ant in the world. Latched onto her, and I'll tell you what, didn't she scream, the poor bugger? I had to rush in and get some ice from inside Whale World, and she was screaming like a banshee. This bloody big inch ant, one of them bulldog ants latched onto a mongrel bloody thing. I put my foot on it. But anyway, that was Whale World. That was Australia's last whaling station way back in the, I don't know, the 40s or the 30s or something. Thank God we don't whale anymore, mate. There's no reason for us to do that. I think they used to use the whale blubber and melt it down into oil and use it for machinery. And there was a reason why we killed whales back in the day. But now we've got all the artificial oils and all that type of stuff.
Lighting? Oil for the lighting?
Yes, lighting was another one. That is, if you're ever in Albany in Western Australia, guys, that is a must-go, Whale World. Guy there telling when they used to drag the whales back and all the great white sharks would be following the dead whale carcasses in trying to get a feed and that. He said that bay there, that Albany Bay, just the amount of great white sharks in there waiting for the whale scraps to come back out of the thing. But anyway, that was a long time ago. Thank God we don't do that. The other thing that Albany is famous for, Danny, was that's where our soldiers left Australia in World War I to go over and fight in Gallipoli. That is where the fleet left from for us to go when we went over to Egypt and all that to train. And then we stormed the shores of Gallipoli in 1915. Albany is where the ships went from, guys. And there's a memorial for Kemal Ataturk, who was the commander of the Turks on Gallipoli. And they've actually got a memorial in Albany for him, mate. And there's a lot of really good World War One memorials and stuff about the fleet that went across to Gallipoli in Albany. And as I said, people can get on your Facebook page, mate, and check that out. So, yeah, Albany, there's a lot of history there, mate.
What to see in Albany? Or Albany? What to see there?
You got to see it. Well, yeah, you had the photos there. Yeah. It's a must go, guys. If you're in Western Australia, down the south of Western Australia, Albany is absolutely beautiful. Another place, Danny, though I don't know if you actually got there or not, is the most western part of the Australian continent, called Steep Point, the westernmost part of Australia, over towards Dirk Hartog Island. Isn't it called Steep Point?
I think I got there.
It's a pretty rough road to get out there, but it's right out towards Dirk Hartog Island, mate.
Yeah, look, I've seen a hell of a lot, but I reckon I missed a whole lot too.
Yeah. It takes a day to get out there to stand on the westernmost point of the Australian continent. I've only stood on the easternmost and the northernmost. I was going to go there, but didn't get over that far, but it's still on my bucket list. And to get down to Wilson's Promontory or whatever it's called in Victoria, it's like a bloody 2-hour walk to get down there. So as soon as we heard that, we said, nah, we're not that keen to get there. You can tell this place is in Western Australia. I was saying a couple of weeks ago, Western Australia's got a lot of towns that end in UP or YUP. Parongarup. And up is an Aboriginal thing, which means it's by the water or there's water nearby. There's a billabong or something. So did you notice that, Danny, in West Aussie, the amount of towns that ended in UP or YUP? Dwelling up, Manjimup and all these places, Yelling up and everything's up, which means it's near the water.
Yeah, amazing. Well,
everyone should know what that famous place is. I haven't seen this in real life either. Wave Rock in Western Australia. So what was that like, mate? Worth a look?
Yeah, hell yeah. Definitely worth a look, but this is one place you really got to go out of your way to get there. Whichever way you come from, it's just sort of middle of nowhere.
It is it? Yeah.
But I had to go. You're only going past there once, so I thought, no, I've got to go. So yeah, I made a bit of a detour.
Yeah.
And
actually, I want to just excuse me for a minute, everyone. I just want to go here and see if I'll stuff this up. Wave Rock. Where is it?
Between Kalgoorlie.
Oh, it's a fair way inland, mate. I thought it was closer to the coast than that.
So between Kalgoorlie and what would you say? Yeah, we're down there somewhere. Yeah, that's the middle of nowhere, really. It was a beautiful drive. If you're looking for someone to look at, yeah. And there are a couple of national parks in the area we've looked at.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think where some of the biggest towns that are close by, but it is in the middle of nowhere, isn't it?
Actually, the national parks everywhere, they're the best. Up down there, just fantastic. You just don't see things, anywhere else but these national parks.
Yeah. Okay. So Wave Rock there, which is is in the middle of nowhere. I was trying to think of where that was, but it's probably 350 kilometres inland of Perth, mate, by the looks, going by the map there. Wave Rock. Monkey Mia, which is famous for dolphin watching, mate. Did you see the dolphins at all when you were at Monkey Mia?
I've seen the dolphins. They were good. But earlier on, I can't think the jetty I was on in WA, and I was on the jetty, and this dolphin was, I'm sure he was looking at me. It's only a couple of meters away in the water. I'm looking down at him. He's sort of looking up, swim underneath the jetty, go to the other side. I'll walk the other side, look up, swim to the other side. I'll walk out the other side. And we're doing that for about 10 minutes.
Wow.
No, but that's the best sort I've ever had for a dolphin. On the jetty, just playing with me.
It's a famous place to go, and if you want to hand feed the dolphins and that, Monkey Mia, but there's a place near Tin Can Bay in Queensland where you can do that as well. Bear with me, guys. I'll bloody go into Google Maps. I'll type in Monkey Mire and see where that is. Obviously, it's on the coast. They don't get dolphins inland. I've just misspelt that. No, I haven't. Oh, wow. Okay, so Monkey Mire is right out on that peninsula, mate, out towards Shark Bay.
I tried to stay there, but I just happened to stay in Denham. There is a free park there, but you can only stay 1 or 2 nights or something. So,
well, I thought it was actually on the coast. No. I didn't realise it was out on the. That's on the way out to Steep Point, mate, the westernmost part of the Australian mainland.
Yeah.
Or is that? Yeah, no, that is.
That's it.
I think that's the westernmost point of Australia there. So the Monkey Mire is out on that peninsula. I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that Francois National Park, Francois Parent, that's a lovely park, national park too. Yeah, that's how I finished up doing my second go at what they call full driving here. Actually, I was sort of a bit nervous to go and do that by myself, but there's plenty of people around there, so I felt safe.
Yeah, no, that's
but
you don't want to bite off more than you can chew when you're by yourself, mate. Out, especially remote. Jurien Bay, heard all about it. A lot of bloody seals and all that type of stuff at Jurien Bay in Western Australia. That's typical of a Western Australian camp spot, mate, which is obviously close to the beach there. Nice flat area. And whereabouts was that? Do you remember where that was?
It was a Lucky Bay or somewhere, or I can't remember now.
Yeah.
Could be. So right along there's a lot of free WA parks, $15 a night. It was fair enough. It was worth it. I stayed there for probably 5 days, I think. Yeah, just looking around everywhere, and as I said, leaving at 8 or 9 and getting back late. Yeah. It was enjoyable.
Some of the beaches over there are beautiful, aren't they, Western Australia? How were the flies when you were there, mate? That's my pet hate of Western Australia.
No problems at all. There's always a breeze, there'd be a breeze. So that was flies away. The only time I had flies, real bad flies, was inland.
Okay.
When I was coming back. No, really bad inland, but on the coast, they were good.
Does anyone know what this memorial is? I'll give you a couple of seconds. Danny knows. This is pretty special, mate. This is something I would love to see one day. This is a pretty special war memorial in Geraldton, Danny, from memory, isn't it?
Yeah, Geraldton, yep.
In Geraldton, which is about 4 hours drive north of Perth. Quite a large town, probably the 3rd or 4th biggest town in Western Australia, or city, I should say. That is the memorial for the HMAS Sydney 2, HMAS Sydney, which was sunk in World War II by a German ship, Camoran. HMAS Sydney on the 19th of November 1941, guys, it got into a battle with a German battleship, a couple 100 kilometres off the coast of Western Australia, and the Sydney was sunk, and all hands lost 645. Yes, 645, not one survivor from the HMAS Sydney during World War II in 1941. The German ship that it got into a battle with was it also sunk sometime later, and 318 of the 399 German sailors. So the ship was a bit smaller than the Sydney. 318 of them were rescued by the Australian Navy or whatever, and spent the rest of their time in a POW camp in Australia. So, yeah, Australia's largest loss. You're right, Danny. I'll keep talking if you've got to go.
I'm going to go.
Righto, mate. So there you go, guys. The HMAS Sydney Memorial. I've been to Geraldton and I've passed through Geraldton, didn't even know this was there, and I'm spewing I didn't know about it, because I would love to have visited the HMAS Sydney Memorial. There you go, 645 Aussies lost in one single battle. Ship went down, not one survivor. I don't know if many of you probably knew that. I'm sure there's some of you out there that didn't. As Australia's biggest naval loss in history. And I think it was the only naval battle in World War II I read where all hands were lost. Usually a lot of ships were sunk. Usually there were some survivors, not one survivor from HMAS Sydney. So poor buggers, 645 of them. Great Aussie lads, lost in one single engagement with a German ship. Bit of controversy over whether the German ship sank it. They reckon there could have been a Japanese submarine out there at the time as well, even though it was just before Pearl Harbor. There's a bit of conspiracy going that the Japanese may have already been around trying to sink things before they attacked Pearl Harbor on the, when was it, 7th of December or whatever, 1941. So that was only just a couple of weeks before Pearl Harbor when the HMAS Sydney was sunk. Absolutely bloody tragic, that one. We'll keep going. Danny's bloody shaking hands with the unemployed there. Now, this one here is Rottnest Island, which is off Perth, guys. It's a little island off Perth in Western Australia. Some of the most beautiful coloured water. This picture here doesn't do it a lot of justice in that. And some of the whitest, sandiest beaches and coves and best swimming spots I've ever seen. I've been to Rottnest Island a few times. Absolutely stunning, Danny. Rottnest Island, mate.
Lovely. At that stage, I think it was Freddy Boots or something, where I've done a lot of big walks, tops, like grade 5. And I took the bus there because I hurt my Achilles. I left ankle. So I wasn't walking too well there. So I went around the bus and just got hopped out different spots and took a couple of photos with it.
Yeah. Very nice. You can hire push bikes over there. You can actually stay on Rottnest Island. And the little quokkas come into your accommodation and look for food. You can feed the quokkas at night. They actually come into your accommodation, and they come in. They're like little bloody bilbies or baby kangaroos, and they come in and they're beautiful little animals. But mate, some of the stunning beaches and coves and turquoise water, Rottnest Island, which is only about, I don't know, 10k off Perth, mate. It's bloody beautiful.
Little cheeky buggers they are. They're not afraid of you. They're unbelievable.
No, they're cute little fellas, and you can actually hire a push bike on Rottnest Island. It's a good way to get around Rottnest, which
except for the ankle.
Which is Dutch. It got its name, Rottnest, which is Dutch for rat's nest, because when the Dutch landed over there, mate, in the 1600s, they must have seen a lot of the quokkas and that and thought they were big rats. And called it Rat's Nest, Rat's Nest Island. That's where it got its name, Rottnest.
You got a tail like a rat. The tails.
They are. They're like a crossbreed. They're like a bloody baby kangaroo on a rat. Little fellas, but
they're quite good.
That's it. That's Esperance there. I'll tell you another thing that's not so good is Rottnest Island back in the day in the early 1900s, mate, was a penal settlement for Aboriginal prisoners. And if you've seen some of the pictures of Aboriginal men with shackles around their neck, and they're all shackled together with steel chains and shackles around their neck. It was the way they were treated back in those days was friggin' disgusting, mate. Like if you put in Aboriginal prison Rottnest Island or whatever, have a look at some of the photos, guys, the way the Aboriginal people were treated back in those days. You can see why they still got the shits with us. It was disgraceful. Shackled together by their necks, and it was disgusting.
Prison's there still. You can't get in.
No. Yeah. It was a prison for Aboriginal men that committed offences in Perth or whatever, and they ship them over to Rottnest Island, and it was like bloody convict type shit. And we're talking the 1900s. We're not talking the 1800s. We're talking the 1900s, and the way they were treated was as bad as probably what the early convicts were treated when they come over to Australia. Esperance, mate, another place I haven't been, and I will get there next time I go to Western Australia to see my daughter, which will be this year when she has the baby. I'll be going over to visit, me and Roz, and we'll be hiring a little camper van or something, and we'll be going down to Esperance because the bays and the beaches there, Esperance it's got some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. I think one of the beaches around Esperance has been labelled one of the top 10 in the world, mate. Stunning water, turquoise water and beaches.
I found another place that was absolutely beautiful. It surprised me. I was only going for a drive called Tumby something. Tumby, I can't remember what it's called there. Tumby. It's a town, and that was beautiful too.
In Western Australia?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that one doesn't ring a bell with me.
Was it? No, it wasn't. It might have been South Australia. Yeah, beautiful. Just like Esperance virtually.
Yeah. Esperance is beautiful. Some of the bays and that. Remember my daughter Lauren went down there for a week with Buzzy and sent me some photos, and I thought, my God, the sand is as white as a sheet of paper. It is incredible. It really is. Here we go, mate. You're up a nice meal there with the old Rafa cooler.
Oh, yes, that was watermelon, eh?
Yeah. And the other good thing too, mate, is I'm saying you probably did a fair bit of this. Some of these places where you can go and you can sit around with other travellers and have a great chat with them. I love doing that. Sitting around, talking to other people. Where are you from? Where have you been? And you can get some great tips off them. And if they go, where are you heading? Oh, I'm heading this way. And they'll give you some good tips on places not to miss out on, mate.
Yeah, this was actually told to me by a traveller. Not to miss it, and this is as far as I got. I didn't go any further. It's a cattle station.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like it's 12,000 square miles or something. This cattle station, whatever it is, something like that. Miles or whatever.
A ranch, as Mike Blakely would call it. We call them cattle stations here, and we got cattle stations here in Australia that are bigger than some European countries. They are absolutely massive. I love places, Danny, even caravan parks that when you check in, they go, and there's a bit of a bush setting and that, they go, happy hour, 5 o'clock this Arv, bring some drinks and nibblies over, and everyone sits around and meets each other and enjoys happy hour at whether it's a cattle station or a caravan park. It's bloody good when you get to meet a lot of good people, don't you?
This has the only one I've heard of before. Might be others in Australia, but upside down river.
Yes, I saw the pictures of that. A dry riverbed, but I reckon underneath it is a shitload of water.
Yeah, that's where they get the artesian water from for their spas.
Yeah. I was going to put that on there. I don't know why I didn't do it. Another great part of Western Australia, mate, is obviously Fremantle, which is just south. It's part of Perth. It's a separate city, I guess. Fremantle, absolutely beautiful place. One of my favourite places. I used to live in Swanbourne, and only 15 minutes down the road was Fremantle. And there's some beautiful breweries and all that type of stuff there. Little creatures and that. This one here I haven't been to, Gage Roads Brewing Company.
Right on the where the what's it called? The Maritime Museum is right there, that area.
Yeah. Which isn't far from Little Creatures as well.
Yeah. I actually went to Fremantle by train because I have put the car in for service, and so I couldn't do much. So I'll catch a train into Perth, then catch a train to Fremantle. So I have been to Perth before, but I never went to Fremantle. So that was a day spent. Yes, but yeah.
Beautiful old sandstone buildings, and it's got a real lot of character, Fremantle. Beautiful cafes, coffee shops, restaurants, breweries. If you're ever in Western Australia, guys, go to Fremantle in Perth. Absolutely, it's a great place. Can anyone think where that is? That's the Super Pit, and that's where they mine gold at Kalgoorlie. Look at this. That's only part of it, mate. You had other photos on your Facebook page, the Super Pit at Kalgoorlie. That is massive, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all the nuggets are gone, but they get the flakes, and it has to be they use some chemicals, cyanide or something. to get the
to extract the gold. They're obviously still getting a lot of gold out of it, mate. Eh?
Oh yeah. They're going to close it pretty soon, but the council will give another 10 years and going to ruin a few roads to give more ground. So they want it for the Kalgoorlie because it brings in a lot of money, obviously. Tourist wise and that.
Yeah, Australia's the second largest producer of gold in the world behind China. I think China's the leading. South Africa's up there as well, but Australia is, I'm pretty sure, the second largest producer of gold. In Western Australia, look at the size of that pit there. My son Phil last year he was in a coal mine, open cut coal mine, similar to this. He said the face of the coal mine face was probably the size of Castle Hill in Townsville. They were down the bottom in some dozers, and they were out of their dozers having a chat. And Phil saw the top of the pit face moving, and he said that's moving up there. And they jumped in their dozers, and they only just got out of the pit in time. It collapsed, and he said it would have been buried in million tons of bloody soil if we didn't get. They only just escaped with their lives. A big cliff face like that collapsed in on them, and I think the next week Phil left that mine. He said, "I'm not working here." They said they're too dodgy. So someone was killed in a coal mine only last week. Saraji mine in Queensland, where Phil used to work, was crushed between a couple of vehicles. So, but that's a big pit, isn't it, mate? Look at that. That is huge. They're going to take a while to fill that hole in.
Oh yeah, catch it.
Yeah, that's about the end of the slideshow there, mate. I'll get rid of that one. Danny, what's I can't see the comments now. I'll get back to the comments so I can see them. Some of your standout places on your trip, mate, from the time you left home in Victoria, across South Australia, over into Western Australia, you got up as far as, say, Dirk Hartog Island, that roughly up around that way, Shark Bay. Some of your standout places, mate.
Well, I think obviously Esperance, as you said. That was yeah. But I think like you, every time I moved and I looked at things, I said, Jesus, I didn't know this was there. Everything really. But personally, I love the national parks. There was, some of the national parks, they're just fantastic. There was, wrote something down, but I can't remember where it was. Things like at Cape LeGrand National Park. Well, that's where I think I hurt me Achilles. It was the Frenchman's Peak. And the walk up that was like over an hour to get there, just straight up. Other national parks, walking trails, and there was a granite skyway. There's photos of that, and that was a hard walk. That was at Torangurod National Park. Most of these in WA. And the pinnacles were amazing. The pinnacles, it was a desert with all these you can stay nice from caves.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've seen pictures of the pinnacles. Yeah,
it was just up the other way though. The caves, there's about 4 of them in a couple of sherry. Were they? Lewin National Park.
Yeah.
Lewin or something. There's about 4. I went to 2 of the caves. There's pictures of it. And I think Annie and Steve Paul looked at photos and Robert and that had looked at photos. I think they come on as friends during my trip. For the family mainly and friends, and they had already friends with them, of any of that, and so they were getting them, and others come on come and have a look as well. But and they can tell you that some of the photos is just beautiful. But a lot of them just didn't give what it really looked like on the photos.
The best way to see things through your eyeballs, mate. And that was the other thing. I spent a lot of time filming through a GoPro. When I threw the GoPro down and actually looked at things through my own eyes, it's just, and had time to stand there and take it in, mate. We've got some beautiful places in this country. Too many to mention, mate. And you've seen a lot of places that I haven't been yet. And, we'll never see everything in this country. It's too big, mate. I'm sure like Mike over in the USA. So many beautiful places to see. Mike will never see the whole of the USA either. Same as Australia.
Seen a hell of a lot of news. I've missed a lot, as I said, so much to see.
Yeah.
I don't have so much time, or you got to give yourself. I do. I'm a bit like you. 9 months was enough for me.
Yeah.
I'll tell myself, might have made a difference if Pam was with me, but it was enough. And but I'm still I'm coming to the turn this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave early June and do another 5 months stint because I thought the 5 months is enough. So I'll go on the coast, the New South Wales coast, like you did, up to the turn. Then I'm going to go further up. I don't know how far I'll get, how high I'll get, then maybe down again. But get out there and have a look. Because you can explain or you'll see photos, but unless you see it yourself, it's not the same.
There's a lot of people out there that haven't left their hometown. They haven't left Brisbane. Never been outside Brisbane, mate. Like, just get out and see things. You can't get out, and I know it costs a lot of money, mate. Cost of fuel and all that, Danny. It's not cheap, and camping fees and all that type of stuff. But, mate, if you can do it, you've got to get out and do it because it's bloody beautiful. And on that 6 months we were away, mate, was stunning. Some of the places that I keep mentioning, Gerringong and Eden and all those places on the New South Wales coast that I've never seen before. How good is it seeing new beautiful places never been before? It's something special about it.
Yeah. Well, you've been, I've seen a lot of New South Wales coast. It's just a lot of holidaying, but I plan to go that way again to revisit and stay there.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's as I said, I want to get Esperance's. That's my to-do when I get over to West Island. I was in West Australia for 4 years, got down to Albany and that, never went down to Esperance. So I always said, it's too far. Spilner didn't get there now, but you've got to go in summer because wintertime down there is bitterly cold in Esperance. But I reckon some of the most beautiful beaches in the world.
Yeah. The whole coast is beautiful. Well, I know Victoria is. There's a lot of Victoria's coast and New South Wales coast.
Yeah.
South Australia, the peninsulas are fantastic.
Yeah.
The what was that one? Air
I don't know what the other one's called. Air Peninsula and bloody
York Peninsula.
York Peninsula. Actually, I'll pull them up here, mate. Hang on.
That's always been going on. All the way back, I went to the Fleur, the other side of Adelaide, Fleur Peninsula Kangaroo. That was different. That was very, very hilly.
Yeah, right. So we'll zoom in on the peninsulas. We only got as far as Mount. Can you see my cursor there, mate?
Yeah.
We went from Portland over to Mount Gambier, and we were going to punch across the road, which they reckon's absolutely beautiful, but the weather was just shite, mate. We couldn't catch a break with the weather, so we punched north and took off over to bloody northern Victoria again. We were going to go across towards Adelaide and that. We wanted to get onto the air, which is the Air Peninsula, mate.
The first one's York. The second one's
the one with Victor Harbour below Adelaide. That's the York Peninsula, is it?
No, that's the Fleur Peninsula.
Fleur Peninsula. Is that the?
Yeah, just down from. Is the air? I think it's the Air Peninsula, is it? Don't want to see it. I want to read it.
Spencer Gulf. I don't know what peninsula that is. One of them's the Air Peninsula.
Yeah, and then the second one, Western Juna is the York.
Oh, okay. So that's the York Peninsula and Air Peninsula.
Down below there.
Okay. Yeah, well, there you go. With South Aussie. Adelaide.
They're all
leaders there.
All the beaches there are beautiful too. Yeah, the whole
Yeah,
coast of Australia is beautiful, I reckon. And we forgot to mention the Bunda Cliffs too. Another wall. Yeah,
yeah.
that was a sight to see. The Bunda Cliffs.
What's that one? The Bugner Cliffs.
Bunda, Bunda Cliffs.
Never heard of them.
Haven't you?
No.
Geez, that's really well. Everyone wants to camp on them. And actually, on the way back, they closed a few because of cracks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bunda Cliffs, really.
Is that on the Great Australian Bight?
Yeah, along the wall.
Oh, okay. No, I know what you're talking about now. I've stood on the edge of there. Hang on, I'll just go back into here, mate, just quickly. So along the Nullarbor here, near Eucla and along this area here, mate, there are some camping spots there. And when you stand on these lookouts along here, looking out in the Great Australian Bight, and you look down this way, and the next stop is Antarctica, mate. That's Antarctica.
Yeah.
And when you're standing on the bottom of Australia, looking down the Great Australian Bight from these Eucla and these places along here, it's incredible, mate, isn't it? The actual you stand there and you look down the Great Australian Bight. It's like you're just literally standing on the edge of Australia. It's incredible. It really is.
Looks like a canyon, virtually.
Yeah, it is. And it's a long way down there. And you look over and you think some of the beaches down there are absolutely beautiful, but it's like the ocean, the Great Southern Ocean has just carved a big bite into the bottom of Australia. It's absolutely incredible. You know, Terry and Robin, we're holed up on the York Peninsula in our van when that 50-year storm hit South Australia. Oh, dear.
I was a big storm too when I was on there, but I wasn't close. Wasn't close to ships. Yeah, there's a real big one. No, crazy.
That's Roz typing that. Yes, diddly. I think Roz is on the iPad typing something.
Well, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike Blakely saying the Great Southern Ocean, some of the roughest seas on the planet. Yes, massive seas. I had a bloke who was mate of mine's in Border Force, and they used to go down into the Great Southern Ocean, and he said the waves down there were bullshit. He said they were scary, and they were on a big ship, and he said it was scary down there in that Great Southern Ocean. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, on the way back, they actually closed quite a few of the spots on the Bunda Cliffs because there was cracks forming. And they were worried it was going to be a landslide sooner or later.
Yeah, some of it's going to go. Stephen Lou saying Augusta is the closest part of Australia to Antarctica. I'm getting into this. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to Augusta, which is in Augusta, which is in Western Australia.
Is it Augusta?
No, Augusta's here, mate. It's down the bottom, bottom of Western Australia.
Oh, okay.
No, it can't be. Stephen Lou. The closest part to well, hang on. Where's Antarctica? Maybe, I don't know. Augusta, I was thinking Albany might be. Albany. Speaking of that, Augusta, which I've been to, is just down from Bustleton, where my daughter lives, guys. Loz lives in Bustleton, where Graphite Bay. That's a beautiful part of the world, mate. Bustleton, isn't it? The Bustleton Jetty, and that is this whole southwest of Western Australia is absolutely beautiful, from Perth all the way down to Esperance. I haven't been over to Esperance. Bremer Bay is another beautiful place. But get down to Albany, Denmark I've been to. This is a beautiful little town. Pemberton, little country town. Absolutely incredible. Margaret River, which is a beautiful winery area. Bustleton, Bunbury, Rockingham. Gloucester.
Yeah, Margaret River, like the Barossa. It's the
like the Barossa, yeah, it is. So that's a stunning part there. That's I I've done a fair bit down in that southwest of West Aussie because I used to live in Perth for 4 years. So, yeah, anyway, that's enough of Google Maps, guys. I've played around with it enough. So Augusta is the closest part of Australia to Antarctica. Maybe it is if you draw a straight line. It probably is. Well, there you go. I'm guilty of also looking at the map. Scrub turkey. Yeah, it's good. I love looking at Google Maps and having a look at places. And it's great to zoom in on a place. And instead of just looking at it like that, you actually go to the satellite view and you can actually zoom in and have a look at what the beaches look like and all that type of stuff, mate. Actually, I said I wasn't going to do it, Danny. I'm going to do it one more time, mate. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm going to go on to Google Maps. I'm going to go to see if we can zoom in on a beach at Esperance down in the south of Western Australia. Esperance. We're going to go to they call it Layers. Let's have a look at some of these beaches here. This is the main part of Esperance, guys. Have a look at the water in that. Just incredible. West Beach. I don't know if you can actually get down into. No, you can't. Won't let me go 3D. But have a look at the colour of the water there, Danny, at Esperance.
Oh, look, that,
just stunning, mate.
Looks like that's just stunning all the way along there. That two colours, yeah. Beautiful.
Oh, there's a golf course. I've just zoomed in on a golf course there.
I played there.
You have?
Probably.
Yeah. But look at them, just beaches everywhere, mate. Look at it.
Yeah, and it is like that. It's two colours. It's just three colours, really. It's just sort of greeny, bluey, and darker blue.
Absolutely a stunning area. Got to get down there and have a look.
And the fishing's good there, mate.
Yeah, I'd still miss out, mate. Anyway, how long we been on? 2 hours. I reckon we'll call it up there, mate. Anyway.
Just give a call out to Terry for his 50.
Yes, Terry G was 50 yesterday, guys. 50 years old. Happy birthday for yesterday, Terry. Hope Robin and Molly spoilt you, mate.
Also, Bobby Asser and his wife Kim, it's their anniversary, I believe.
Is it really Bob and Kim Asser?
Yeah.
How's Kim put up with him for so long, Danny? I tell you. How's Kim put up with him for so long?
I don't know, but she wrote something very nice on Facebook.
Did she?
And a photo of
duress, I reckon. Asser would have he would have bribed her to bloody say something nice about him, I reckon.
Lovely photo there too of when they were must be teenagers, I think. Before they got married. Beautiful. You wouldn't think Bob would look like that actually when you look back now.
Well, here's Roz.
I know. He's handsome looking. I'll tell you when he's young.
Roz saying, let's phone in on Brodie Moss's house from Youngbloods. Righto. Let's do it. Excuse me. I'm going to do it.
Try to free camp as much as they can. But on the coast, you can't really. You've got to pay something. Everyone's charging. Everybody's charging it, and they put the rates up too, by the way. Since COVID.
Yeah. Now, Exmouth. Brodie lives down south of Exmouth here somewhere. Without me going ridiculous to try and find his house. That might be it there. Brodie lives south of Exmouth. He might even live further down here, actually. No, that's not it. I zoomed in on Brodie's house one day. I actually picked it out on thing, and Roz reckons I'm stalking him because I found his house on Google Maps.
Yeah, love to, Ed, but I'm just so busy. I've got 2 bathrooms to fix, a pool to fix before I go back on the road in June.
Yeah, it's always good to get home. It's great to get away and see these places, Danny, but it's good to get home sometimes too, isn't it, mate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lukey Reed saying, g'day, Dad. Anyway, yeah, all right, mate, we'll get going. It's been 2 hours. I said we'd go about 2 hours. Thanks so much again for coming on tonight, telling us all about you. Hopefully it encourages people that are thinking about doing a bit of a trip. Doesn't have to be 12 months, guys, even a month, 2 months, if you can get the time off work, if you've got the money, just pick somewhere and go and see it, because it doesn't matter where you go in this country and look at it. It doesn't matter what state or territory. You can guarantee, as Danny said, you're going to be pleasantly surprised with how many beautiful places there are in this country. So it doesn't matter where you go. You're going to find beautiful places everywhere. It's always good.
You don't know hurry, there's heaps to see.
Yeah. Logan. Thanks, mate. Thanks, Logan.
Thanks, mate.
Great to have a chat with Danny. And Danny, thanks again, mate, so much for coming on and talking about motor neurone disease tonight. That was the main reason we came on. And it's always good to finish on a positive thing, talking about your 5-month trip away and some of the beautiful places you saw. And we'll get to see you at Goombara, whatever it's called, down near Warwick or Allara in southern Queensland, mate. 9th, 10th and 11th of August. Really looking forward, and we'll catch up for a beer down there, right?
It's going to be good.
And it won't be a VB either, I can tell you.
I'll bring a couple for you.
As the Maniac just come on, he always comes on at the tail end of these live feeds. Phil the Maniac saying g'day, mate. G'day, Phil. How are you, mate? Hopefully you're well.
G'day,
Andrew
Phil.
saying he enjoyed tonight. Yeah, it was good. It's not good to talk about a horrible thing like motor neurone disease, but hopefully we've raised a bit of an awareness. And if you can, guys, if you ever see motor neurone stuff, as Danny said, Bunnings or anywhere that's supporting motor neurone disease,
online, mostly.
License and a beanie and that, and let's hope we can find a cure for this horrible disease.
Yeah, where you get your patches, Phil? I'll buy you.
Yeah, where's Phil the Maniac's patches and bloody Rob the Wanderer? Where are your patches, guys? Come on. We want to buy a bloody set of 5. Terry G's. How good are Terry G's patches, mate?
Thanks, R2.
With the windmill. They look really good, mate. Actually, really good. Anyway, mate, we'll get going, but we'll go again. And
we'll see you next week.
Yeah, mate. I don't know who I'm going to have on yet, but we'll have someone on. I'm going to go back to slide 1. Going back through the slides. I don't know why I'm doing it this way, but I am. And we'll go back with the lovely lady, Pam. And thanks so much for coming on and telling us about your lovely wife, Pam, mate. It's a terrible thing that happened to her, but it must show how strong Danny is to get on social media and actually talk about losing his wife. It can't have been easy, Danny, and we take our hats off to you, mate, for having a chat to us tonight about Pam. It can't have been easy, mate. A lot of people couldn't do what you did tonight.
Well, I look at it this way back. If it helps somebody and they catch it, especially catch it early, they can at least get some bucket list or something before the end sort of thing,
Well, that's it, mate. Yeah, if someone, if you get diagnosed with motor neurone disease, you might want to do a couple of those little bucket things before you pass away. It's a horrible bloody way to, but that's the reality of it, Danny. Once you get it, that's it, mate.
I think it's like everything, but if you don't accept things, it just takes you down.
Yeah, I guess if you do get it, you just hope you're a bit like Neil Danaher and you can have a lot. Yeah, so I'll keep my ear to the ground about him now, mate, and let's hopefully he's got a few more years left. And he's fought it hard the whole way, but it seems to, like my mate, it takes them within 12 months, a lot of people. It can work very, very quickly. So, yeah, let's Justin Dillon saying, g'day, Justin, saying, let's hope a cure is close. Absolutely, mate. Let's hope a cure is very close for this horrible thing. So, anyway, Danny, thank you, mate. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Really appreciate it. I know it's a bit of a morbid subject to start the night off with, but it's something that me and Danny have wanted to talk about for quite a while now, and we finally got to do it, mate. So, and as I said, looking forward to seeing you at the Legends Camp down near Warwick, mate, in August. It's going to be absolutely fantastic to catch up with you and a lot of the other people in the chat room here. Can't wait to catch up and have a beer with all ears down at the Legends Camp. Speaking of Legends, get in and support them too, guys. smgsports.com.au. There's stubby coolers. I just got a set of 6 with all the Legends logos on there. Got the magnets on. The shirts. Got the blue one. I got the blue fishing shirt. Rod's got the blue short sleeve shirt. They look really good. Danny's got the pink one on, the sunset one.
I don't call it pink. It's mauve, isn't it? I don't wear pink.
No, I think they call it sunset. The blue and the sun, they call that the sunset one. Look really good, eh? Doing a fantastic job. So if you haven't got your merch, even if you're not coming to the event, guys, get on there and support it, because you know that all the profits from the Legends merch is all going towards charity. So I spent 164 or something the other day. I got 2 shirts and half a dozen coolers and that. And it's good to know that all the profits from that are all going towards a couple of great charities. RACQ Care Flight. Wrong one. The chopper there, the RACQ chopper on my sleeve. Wrong sleeve, but there it is, the helicopter. And Southern Arc Downs Animal Rescue, which you know how passionate I am about helping animals out, guys. So absolutely fantastic. Righto, jibber jabber, long farewell. Lukey Reed will be up me, telling me to get off. Thanks again, Danny. Take care, mate.
Thanks, Buck. Thanks, everyone.
See you in a few months, mate. Hopefully all the VIX have gone in. It's a 79 on. A lot of the VIX are falling off the perks. They've gone to sleep during the live feed. They're probably asleep on their lounge room floor, because it's, what is it down there? 9:41. That's late for the Victorians.
Early one. It's early one.
Oh, I don't know what they're whinging about. They watch the bloody Australian Open down there in Melbourne. It goes to 1 o'clock in the morning sometimes. It's a wonder anyone's still awake during those games, I tell you.
Went to 3 a.m. A few days back.
Did it? Yeah, I know. It's a long night. Susie Ellum, Robin, Gidgy Gorilla, good night, everyone. Terry G, Newey Joe, Justin, and everyone else who came on tonight. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Wish us luck up here with this cyclone, guys. I'm going to be concentrating on this now, keeping an eye to just no one knows where it's going to go, but it's going to come close to us. So I've got to start my cyclone prep again. See you later. Wish us luck. Good night.
Night.